denizens of Gotham. Tonight, we need to talk about Barnes, who I'm dubbing the Executioner, even though the episode technically didn't. So I'm here with Daniel Pickett of Action Figure Insider.
Good evening.
And Alexis Ned from Hearst Digital Media.
Hello, hello.
And now I want to know, what did you guys think of this episode?
A lot of straight up murder. Murder town in Gotham tonight by the straightest edge fella on the show. Racking up quite a body count,
Yeah.
Mr. Barnes did this evening. A little surprising. I mean, we knew he was becoming unhinged because of the blood, the Alice blood. But it's different when you see he's rigged up like pulleys and nooses and.
Yeah. He went from 0 to 60 real fast.
He was great at murder. He graduated from murder college, you could tell.
Just kicking chairs and shopping carts out from under fellas, and then just shooting a guy in the chest. Just straight up shoot a guy in the chest.
All that passion he had for police work, he just dived straight into the murder town. Yeah. But yeah.
Yep.
So Barnes went on a killing spree, as previously discussed, and I guess he said that he was sort of just following the instinct that was unlocked, right, by Alice Tetch's blood, and that's really just opening up who he really is inside. Now, do we think that that's true about Alice Tetch's blood, or is it just, it makes you crazy, and this is what crazy looks like for him?
Yeah, that's kind of the question. We haven't got to see other victims to kind of see what that arc is. So that's sort of the interesting thing. Does it really unlock what you really are, or does it just make you crazy pants where you start shooting people even though you have been straight edge for 2 seasons?
What did you think about his level of crazy, Alexis?
I mean, it made sense for me because Barnes as a character has always been obsessed with justice as it exists, and while he was not infected with Alice blood, that justice was towards like the law and putting bad guys away. But I think it does unveil the darkest parts of you. I just think that everyone in Gotham is secretly a murder beast. So it's just like a hilarious coincidence that all the people we've seen end up going on crazy murder sprees because they voluntarily live in Gotham.
Yeah, it's something about Gotham that just makes you that way. Unfortunately.
Something in the water, maybe.
Something in the water.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, no matter whether you're like a straight-laced woman who just kind of like a mouse in a way, like Keene in the early days, but then something snaps and she murders her parents. Or you're like the cop that does everything by the book, like Barnes, and now it's like redirecting that energy.
Sooner or later, you live in Gotham, you're going to murder someone.
Right.
Maybe a couple of someones.
You die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. That is the moral of Gotham's story. But speaking of heroes, Jim did have a chance this episode to be kind of heroic. I have to say, like, this was like the first time in a while that I really was hats off to you, Jim Gordon.
Jim did good.
Yeah, I don't have crap to talk about him tonight.
Give him his badge back and just see what happens. He steps up to the cause.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe as interesting as mercenary Jim Gordon was, he couldn't be as like heroic and dashing and interesting unless he had his badge back and got to be a cop and do the right thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of tragic in a way, or bittersweet, if you will, that Barnes is kind of who inspired him to take back the badge. It was really his dad, but he sees Barnes, he wants to be like Barnes and do things his way now. And just as he's feeling that way, Barnes is like, psych, I want to do it your way.
Straight off the rails. Yeah.
I mean, the unfortunate side effect is that Jim's now going to have a big problem with vigilantes in the future.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's true.
Well,
that's true.
Well, we'll get to that in season 17.
Yeah, but for now, we just have to deal with the run-of-the-mill psychopaths, I guess.
Right.
And Harvey also stepped up to the plate this episode. Like I think this was like the first time in a while that he's gotten like a meaty bit of the action to take part of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still wanted to see more, though. I mean, I feel like, especially season 1, there was so much great interaction between Jim and Harvey. We got a little bit, but in season 2, but this season, it's felt very, very light on that. and everyone keeps talking about how they're partners again,
Right,
but
but we
they're
don't
not
see them.
working together so much
We don't see them
anymore. So, for me, I'd love to see more of that.
What did you think about Gordon and Jim's bromance for the ages, Alexis?
Oh, I'm just like to see
I just said
him
Gordon and Jim.
back at old Gordon and Harvey and Jim.
Yeah. You know
I
what I
got
mean.
you. I know where you're coming from. I was excited to see them have like screen time again in the context of them being cops, because before it was like Harvey would always say, "I'm a cop," and Jim would say, "I'm not a cop anymore," and then that would kind of like be their conversation. But now they have more to talk about, so they can riff off of each other more, and you forget how funny and charming they are with each other.
Yeah,
so it was
definitely.
nice to kind of see that. Although you did have Harvey defending Barnes and Jim being like, I think they straight up murdered a dude. Which is like a usual reversal of their roles.
Right.
Because Harvey's always the one like, there's no way a guy hopped up on Venom, just, stole an ATM machine. And Jim's like, yes, he did. So kind of that switch was really cool. And it shows how their characters have really changed over the past 2 seasons into like the skeptic and the hero sometimes like really blend together with them.
Yeah, it was a testament to what a good friend Harvey is, too, that he was willing to go along with Jim even when he didn't believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was definitely that, I think there was that moment, right, where Jim's like, do this, this, and this, and Harvey's like, I know how to do my job, Jim. And it was like,
Right.
whoa!
Yeah. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
You left. So.
And that was like kind of powerful. Like, it was just like a little moment, but I was like, you know what? We do forget that Harvey knows how to do his job.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
Been
they
there
did,
longer than Jim has.
they did such a great job establishing what a straight edge cop that Barnes was, that, it was a leap of faith for Harvey. Like, there's no way this guy, showed up at a party and put a guy through a wall. So, I felt like the whole setup for that, was great and paid off. So.
And that leap of faith extends to Lee, too, because Harvey convinced Lee to lie for Jim.
Right.
I don't know. So that was cool. Like, it's nice to see that Jim can create that kind of respect or affection in people, even though, like, with Harvey, it's easier to understand. Like, I don't know why Lee loves Jim so much, but it was really great to see her and Harvey work together.
But the rest of GCPD just turned on him in an instant. One phone call. We got all hands on deck. We got to get that guy.
Yeah, like, this is for shortening our lunch break.
Yeah.
And then they snap right back. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, they don't have a moral fiber because they don't have characterization.
Right.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
really
I mean,
matter.
they're gonna die in 2 episodes anyway.
Yeah.
So like, why would they care?
Sorry, Jim.
I mean, that alone shows you what a good cop Harvey is, because he's still alive. He's still alive and not
That's
in
right.
Arkham.
That's
and
right.
It's been 3 seasons.
Very
so.
true.
The other totally different storyline was my children, Bruce and Selina. My children who are dating each other. And Ivy.
I thought we didn't like the children dating each other. I thought we established that several episodes ago, that creeped us out.
I like these 2 children dating each other.
Oh.
You know what? Just because they're both my kids doesn't mean they're siblings, all right? But anyway, moving on. What do we think about this plot?
There was such a missed opportunity at the very beginning with Ivy when she's in that creepy dude, the collector's house, and she picks up that scarab, that you could have tied it to the larger DC universe with Blue Beetle. I was just like, oh, is that going to happen? Is it going to
That
happen?
would've been
And
super
it
cool.
didn't. Like,
She just throws the scarab behind
just
the
throws
couch.
the scarab away, but it's just like, if you could have just did a little hint of that,
For a
then you know
second.
Gotham exists in a larger
Right.
sort of
That would be cool.
DC
Right.
universe. I really, I know that's not quite what we were talking about, but that,
God, way to
while
steer the
I was
conversation.
watching it, I was just like, oh, is this going to be a moment where we see something bigger?
Yeah, that would be
He
cool.
just had something on his chest he had to get off.
I know.
There's no reason not to, because like Supergirl has shouted out Gotham this season.
Yeah.
So Gotham.
Wait, what?
Yeah. In the premiere, I think it was. Superman does some saving, and then like the people that he saved were like, "I'm going back to Gotham."
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah. So it would be cool to see the reverse. Not with Supergirl, but with Blue Beetle, like
Right,
you said, or
yes.
with anyone,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
any kind of larger universe. But
But it's not, this whole, because we got rid of our old love triangle with Vale and Lee
this
and
is not going to be a love triangle.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
geez.
And then we got
Just
these
threw up
guys
in my
that
mouth.
just, they were able to provide a little lightness
Yes.
in the bloody massacre
They
of
added
Barnes.
some levity to the
Yes.
proceedings. I know Alexis was saying this to me earlier, and I was agreeing with her about what a great job actress, whose name I cannot pronounce, did.
Maggie Giha.
Thank you. But yeah, it was great to see her sort of take this like young girl who's become a woman, right? But she still played her with an innocence, and the writing did cater to that. So
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a question we all had that we've discussed a couple of times. Like, it would be very easy for them to go sort of a creepier way with it that we were hoping they
and
wouldn't.
for a few episodes, it seemed like they were going to.
And a few episodes, it did seem like that. So thank goodness they came to their senses and they played it more for comedy and sort of the sweetness and the innocence. And good job.
Yeah.
If all
So
you
instead
Gotham
of her,
writers.
seducing men with her new lady body, she's just a 11-year-old genius botanist and perfumier.
Yes, and she just realizes that she can just look like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I do love like whenever like everyone's like, well, what do you give them? She's like, no, nothing. Nothing. I don't.
She doesn't know what they're talking about.
And Selina's face was like, "You little tramp."
She's like, I don't give them anything. They just give me stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, and even with the guy that we saw in the beginning, right? He's like, let's go to the bedroom, and she's like, let's go to your vault.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
that instead.
She has priorities.
Right. Yeah, I guess even her little thing when she was like, I have ways of getting what I want, but she meant, I assume, the perfume, right? Because like
Yes.
when we saw
Yeah,
her
she
actually,
totally meant the perfume.
yeah. So that because first thing I was like, ugh, and then I was like, oh no, it's the perfume, we're good, it's all good. Which how did she figure out how to make that? I still don't did she?
She loves plants.
But was she loving plants before?
She loved plants in the premiere.
Yeah.
In the right.
And
in
then
the
she
premiere.
mentioned she was a vegan, I think in season 1,
Oh,
and then
okay.
ate all of Selina's food now. So either Selina is also a vegan or she's given that up.
Maybe-
Consistencies. These things
Maybe
bother
she just
me.
throws out the meat and gives it to the cats.
Yeah.
She just eats the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ivy was great. She was like super smart, street smart in some ways, but then doesn't know how much the necklace is worth.
Yeah, just a dim bulb in other ways, which is very endearing because having like a bunch of like super smart 14-year-olds who talk like adults is like great because they make for good dialogue, but having a child on the show, even though she's in a woman's body,
Right.
is kind of refreshing.
Yeah, and then
Because
even creates
she's
more-
not as street smart as Selina, who knows the value of the necklace, and I think this doesn't have Bruce's like academic cleverness, but like she's kind of got her own thing going on. Is she
Yeah.
the brightest, sharpest knife on the tree? No.
But it does create a lot of humor. So
Yes, it
and
does, which is
we
great.
got to see Selina's maternal side again, in between the angry mom side, like she's like hugging you and then slapping you, like how could you do this to me? Come here,
Yeah.
which was great. And Bruce got in hot water for a second with his new relationship
Right.
by calling
Yeah.
Ivy attractive or saying she looked good or whatever.
He just said she looked good. I honestly laughed out loud at that whole scene. It's the first time I haven't laughed out loud at Gotham in a long time. And just seeing the look that Selina gives Bruce, and then Bruce is like, "Ooh, I'm in deep shit."
Yeah.
But she does look good though. Oh, shouldn't be thinking that. Like all of those emotions going over his face. And I'm like, you horny teenage boy.
That was priceless. That was priceless. And then, of course, Selina gets to say that she's not actually in a relationship with Bruce and breaks Bruce's little heart for the 30th time this season. So I was hoping that we'd get to see something more about where that goes,
Yes, me too.
But Ivy, her best friend, clearly sees right through that
Right,
ruse.
right.
It's and then just playing up that sort of best friend aspect of them too was pretty charming. Talking about I thought you've been dead for weeks. Why are you just now coming
Yeah.
forward?
Aw, their hug was so sweet.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, everyone can see through Selina. Like, Selina is so rude all the time, and no one ever buys it. Everyone's like, I know you love me, Selina. It's
I'm
fine.
like, you're a sweet girl. You know.
Well, Lily Michelson in the
my
comments points out that it sort of sucks that the only time Bruce and Selina get together is when they're fighting large groups of powerful people.
That is so true.
Starting with the Gallivans and now the Court of Owls. So whenever
you're right,
things are
though.
calm in Gotham, they they go
we
their
don't
separate
see 'em.
ways.
Yeah.
But when large groups conspire against them, then love buds again. in
Makes for
Gotham.
an interesting date, at least.
They're just conflict boyfriends.
Yes.
Oh,
Taking comfort in the storm.
Yep. Aww. Well, less comforting storyline is Nigma's wayward romance ending tragically.
Yep.
So, we have Nigma realizing that Isabella was murdered and trying to figure out who did it. So what do we think of this little tiny murder mystery?
I mean, we'll pour one out for Chelsea Spack, who probably made her. I mean, I would say it was her last appearance, considering she was the body on the table. But like knowing Gotham, she's gonna be back next season. Her name's gonna be Violet, and she'll be a redhead, and it'll be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah. So just like pour a little out for her today. But I think it was interesting how Nigma, who is so smart and so analytical, just jumps to the wrong ass conclusion that, it must have been Butch. Butch didn't even know he was dating her. How did he get there? Leave Butch alone.
That's so true. I definitely, I really thought like, okay, if he doesn't suspect Penguin, he's gonna go, like you said, to Falcone, right? Or But, because I don't even, does Butch even have like the influence for that? Like, I don't know. It was, yeah.
Which makes you think that he does have a blind spot for Penguin that may be emotional.
Right.
You know, maybe a vaguely romantic blind spot where he can't see Penguin's ill intentions. Or he's just, just wrong.
Right. I mean, it definitely made sense that he wouldn't suspect Penguin, especially once, like for a second I thought he would when Cobblepot was being really sort of standoffish about it or like, dismissing him. But then when he apologized, it like made sense that he would be like, no, it couldn't be him. It has to be.
Yeah, it's like, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
And in this episode, we saw our first painting bomb. You've seen photo bombs. But to actually have just him like leaning into the photo, into the painting, that was to somehow apologize.
Proportioned edition.
That was so creepy.
That was such a strange little. I know I was a jerk to you today, but I've put you sort of leaning into a painting that's going to hang
out of a doorway that just out of the wall. Like he wasn't even leaning into a doorway. He was just like popping out from behind a bookcase.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the inevitable moment where after Oswald and Nigma break up or part ways, and Oswald like shoots a hole through that penguin and like slashes it with a cane. Like it's coming. You know it is.
It's 100%. It's inevitable.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad this has gone so horribly awry so quickly. I was like, the episode's building up. I was like, oh, it's so cute. Penguin has a crush. How is he gonna tell him? And I was like, nope.
But then there's just that whole, when he gets the hug and it's just his face is like, oh, this is fantastic. It's like, no, you just murdered.
You just murdered his girlfriend. We do tend to love Penguin, I think, a little too much than his character deserves.
Yeah.
Because he's just so overwhelmingly charming and he's cute and he's funny and you just want to love him and pinch his little cheeks. But it's like, no, this guy's an effing sociopath.
Yeah.
He murdered that guy's girlfriend just so he could snuggle up to him. Like,
I mean, it's good to remember that sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Remember that if you guys have anything to add or any questions, you can use the YouTube chat or you can hashtag GothamAS and ask us anything you want.
Yes.
No matter how personal about Gotham.
20 questions. Let's go. Ask us stuff. Get weird.
But next week's episode is called Time Bomb.
Yes.
And it looks crazy. It looks like lots of stuff is happening.
There's a lot of fast cuts in that trailer.
Yeah. Especially, we know that something happens to Mario and Lee at their engagement party. No, it's at their... It's something. Something happens to them.
Cake tasting? We don't know.
Something happens to them, and Falcone needs Jim Gordon's help.
Yes.
Also, Barbara is looking for her bays.
That's
looking
right.
for Tabitha and Butch.
And Nigma is sparking up the jumper cables. So that's probably not going to go well for Butch.
And I mean, this is going to be like the Nigma versus the queer ladies of Gotham showdown that I've been aching for since season 1.
That would be amazing.
The fanfic you've been writing for.
Chapters and chapters. Very well received on fanfiction.net.
Yes.
And it looked like there was a moment where we saw Sean Pertwee's Alfred. He's been
He's
been sitting at the pool sipping Mai Tais for 2 weeks, I guess.
I totally forgot that we hadn't seen him this episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
no, we definitely didn't see him last episode, and I was mad. But now I was excited because I got a little bit of Batcat, so I forgot about Alfred. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alfred.
He must have dressed Bruce though, because Bruce looked amazing this episode. He must be just like laying out Bruce's outfits and then going out for a smoke and not coming back. Like he's so tired of Bruce right now. But holy crap, that kid is extraordinarily well dressed. His coat this episode was on point.
Yeah.
The good news is tomorrow morning you'll have about 16 emails from Hot Topic wanting to sell you that same coat.
Great, bring it on. Give me the coat. Oxblood, wool.
I mean, I feel like Bruce is like really feeling himself right now, you know, so it makes sense he's dressing the part finally.
Yeah, he's a lot more confident.
Yeah.
And also can like probably fit into menswear these days. So like, good call, costume department. You're nailing it.
I feel like if you've been following the actor that plays Bruce, you've been following his Instagram at all, you know that he is working out pretty consistently now. So I feel like they are maybe sort of dressing him a little bulkier so you can't see
I didn't even know he had an Instagram. Are they Batmaning him already?
I think they are. He's constantly posting like Instagram stories of how he's running to the subway to get to his training that he's late for.
At least maybe like the finale of this season.
He's a boy. He's just a child.
I know.
No, he's taken.
Maybe he won't get in like a suit, but he'll like beat up some people.
Yeah, he's taking fighting training and. He's not doing dance with Alfred, so.
But yeah, speaking of Bruce, in the promo we see that he starts learning about the Court of Owls, and he brings Selina along for the ride.
Right. So we saw a little bit of that in this episode. The guys that were after Ivy.
Right. The guys after Ivy.
The masks and the crossbows.
So was it just that they were like there was a brick in Selina's apartment that held some sort of secret map or something, or no, it held the Wayne newspaper clipping.
Yeah, it had stuff.
How did they know that was going to be there?
Yeah, I don't know. Were they just looking for like something? Like maybe they were expecting to find the key hidden there,
yeah, I think
and then instead they found that.
Yeah, I think they were looking for the necklace and dug that up.
But then they found the Wayne thing.
And
but like that's an astonishing coincidence.
Yeah.
That Ivy would steal a necklace that has a key that the Court of Owls need, and then they track her to a building where her friend lives that happens to have Wayne newspaper clippings and other evidence and stuff hidden in a brick that Selina didn't even know about, and she's dating Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so it's something Selina doesn't know about, is what we're saying, right? It's not.
We think so.
Because I know she was kind of like into the murder because she sort of saw it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was the material witness at the time.
So like maybe I thought that maybe she had hidden it there, but if she didn't even hide it there and it was not, it was just coincidence, then that is crazy.
Yeah.
Question from Alma Diaz, my BFF, wants to know: do you guys think Nigma is playing Penguin, or do you think he actually believes Butch killed his girlfriend?
No, I
never considered that. Dude, Alma always comes through with the best questions that we can question my entire life.
So Daniel thinks that he definitely thinks it was Butch.
I think
you're questioning Alexis, right?
Now I'm questioning because I'm thinking about how Nigma played Butch to get back to Penguin.
Yeah, exactly.
And that dude plays as many sides as like a D&D set of dice. Like he's got so many facets. So maybe he is. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't think it before, but now that she said it, I'm like, he did have that moment where it looked like he was angry at Penguin, and then he like flipped his switch, which of course could be because they want us to think he's going to accuse Penguin, and then he doesn't.
Right. I think that's where they were headed.
Yeah, but I mean, if I wanna believe that they were acting in the moment and not outside of it, then I could maybe see that. That could maybe be
so many layers.
Yeah, like an onion being peeled. Any other comments that you want to share with us, Daniel?
Well, a lot of people now are talking about David getting beefy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They like that.
You're liking it? I hope y'all are underage too. If you're gonna be, looking at David
about
like that.
Talking about a beefy teen.
Benjamin Slade says he is Batman. 13 is like 21.
Oh, that's 13 is the new 21.
That's right.
All right.
That's
He just can't drink.
very intense.
He can't drink, but he can definitely get into bar fights.
That's true. What kind of country is this where you can be a Batman, but you can't get a drink at a bar?
James Mirror Domain says David will become beefy by default. He must be lifting.
Yeah.
So I think he has said he is lifting and doing fight training. So
Well, he's doing it well. Oh, that reminds me, we have news breaking to share. Marina Baccarin has a role on a pilot for next season.
she was cast in an NBC pilot.
Cast in an NBC pilot. So she said that even if it gets picked up, she's going to have a recurring role on Gotham. But recurring is not regular. So what do we think? Do we think that this love triangle is at its end?
I think it's just going to be a love line. It's just Jim. There's no Vicky's out of the picture. She's mad. Lee's leaving to go be a. It was like she's going to be like a attorney that defends cops or something? Is that what it is?
She was a cop, she became an attorney, and now she defends cops, I think.
I mean, I don't think she'll leave.
That sounds like that somebody did Mad Libs of an NBC procedural drama.
Yes.
Apparently, it's gonna be like The Wire meets, I don't know, Criminal Minds. I don't know. I lost it. It was definitely The Wire meets something.
Yeah. I mean, she's still going to be tied to the show just because Jim Gordon is her actual baby daddy. So I don't think we'll never see her again, but.
Sure. But I think it's Barbara Gordon's time to shine.
But you have to wonder, are they furiously like scribbling like a new storyline for her for the second half of the season? Like, how's that going to work?
Maybe she does marry Mario and just like becomes a medical examiner that doesn't do much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's possible because it's been in stasis. It's not like she's not developing new or more feelings for Jim right now.
Yeah,
and
she seems fine where she is.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, and this is assuming that the Gotham TV writers are going to like all of a sudden respect canon. But like, how much longer does Jim have to like make a baby before the age gap between Batman and Batgirl is too big?
I like it.
That's what's happening. They're clearing the deck for Barbara to come back into his life.
Come on in and bear that bat baby.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's make it happen.
Can you imagine pregnant Barbara though? What a freaking nightmare.
I think that would be a roller coaster ride that I want tickets to.
Especially since she wears a lot of vertical stripes.
Yep.
Like a lot of times. That just seems like that will be.
Dear God, her pregnancy cravings would be like blood cocktails and pickles, the nut job.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, hopefully we get a chance to see it either this season or next.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you stay with us a couple more minutes, we will join you at the Batcave. Welcome to Batcave on the stream.tv. But for now, good night and good luck. And don't run into Barnes.
Except for those awesome loafers he had.
Yeah.
I would do anything to raid that